We welcome all the Sahajogi brothers and sisters to this online meditation of Nirmal Gyan program. Nirmal Gyan program is a 3-day seminar cum workshop which has been going on now for over 6 years and have conducted the programs in more than 32 cities in India and in Nepal, with the aim of bringing Shri Mataji's Nirmal Gyan to the Sahajogis. Though it is very difficult to bring all the knowledge that she has imparted, but to create an interest and in the teachings of Sahaj Yoga and create an interest on various topics. We are doing this small online seminar during these troubled times, and we will conduct 2-hour session on various topics. This first session we will first cover why is a seminar or a workshop required, and then most importantly, what is meditation, what are the steps, or we could say the stages of getting into meditation, or some important aspects about meditation. And then most importantly, let us all pray to Shri Mataji that during this session she gives us that experience, that divine experience of the beautiful state of meditation, and gives us the experience of the joy. Now, the pattern of the Nirmal Gyan workshops are that we try and explain in brief about the aspects of various aspects, and then it is Shri Mataji. It is only Shri Mataji through her Nirmal Gyan and Vani who can and will explain the concepts. She is the supreme knowledge. Now, our part, if any, is only to facilitate the flow and the arrangement of the different topics, which is an objective of any seminar. The real Gyan or the knowledge should be understood by you only directly by listening to Shri Mataji. Let us awaken the Kundalini and put Bandhan. Let us keep both the hands on our lap, fingers a little open, and we will say the 3 Maha Mantras. We will now play a video of the 3 Maha Mantras, which was sung in her presence in Vienna 1988, in which they are saying the 3 Maha Mantras, but in her presence, and we will look at her, receive her Ashirvad, look at her lotus feet, and with full bhakti we will say the 3 Maha Mantras.
May God bless you. May God bless you all. May God bless you all. May God bless you all.
So in this page, Sri Mataji talks about the importance of having a seminar, having a class to have the knowledge of Sage Yoga. She also says that we need to understand this knowledge and also be able to explain it like her. This knowledge, which was available over generations, over many years, she has given us in one lifetime of ours. So see how lucky and how chosen we are to have this knowledge. So all the knowledge she has shared in thousands of her lectures is equivalent to the knowledge of the whole world. Let's now keep our right hand on the heart and pray to Shri Mataji. Param Pujya Shri Mataji, please give us a pure desire to know the knowledge of Sahaj Yoga. Please give us the wisdom to be able to understand this knowledge within ourselves. And please also make us eligible to be able to explain this knowledge, share this knowledge as your instruments with all seekers of the world.
सहयोग के बारे में आपने क्या जाना, जो ज्ञान प्रगल्भ होना है, सो मैंने ऐसा सोचा है कि यहाँ पर एक क्लास होना चाहिए जिसमें औरतें भी और आदमी भी समझे कि सहयोग क्या है, इसका ज्ञान क्या है, इसके चक्रों को जानना। बहुत से लोग मैंने देखा एडवेंट खरीदते हैं जैसे कोई धर्म पुस्तक हो, और ख़रीद के उस पर सुंदर मखमल का वो चढ़ा के उसकी रोज़ पूजा करते। अब अखंड जैसे वो होता है रामायण पाठ, या वो अखंड और क्या होता है आपका ग्रंथ साहब, ऐसे वो अखंड ना करें, इतना ही मैं मांगती हूँ। क्योंकि पढ़े जा रहे हैं, एक उंगली रखी फिर दूसरा, उसने उंगली रखी फिर वो पढ़ते जा रहा, खोपड़ी में कुछ भी नहीं जा रहा। जानना चाहिए कि सहयोग क्या है। आप लोगों को खड़ा होना चाहिए, आप सबको मेरे जैसे भाषण देना आना चाहिए, मेरे जैसे समझाना आना चाहिए। सहयोग क्या है? एक शिक्षा है, इसे सीखना चाहिए। अभ्यास, जो कि श्री कृष्ण ने कहा कि अभ्यास है, अभ्यास करना। चीज़ क्या है? सहयोगी हम हैं, अब हम सहयोगी हो गए। लोग कहेंगे भाई ये क्या होता है? अब पता नहीं, कुछ तो होता ही है। तो वो भी होना चाहिए। अपने वाइब्रेशंस, जिनको हम कहते हैं कि चैतन्य की लहरियाँ हैं, उनका भी पूरा परखना आना चाहिए। इसका क्या मतलब है, उसका क्या मतलब है। कितनी बातें गुह्य से गुह्यतर हमने आपको बता दी, और कहना चाहिए गुह्य से गुह्यतर गुह्यतम हमने आपको बता दी। सारी चीज़ें आपको बता दी, लेकिन हम लोग उसे जानना ही नहीं चाहेंगे। तो क्या हमारा लेक्चर सुना, ध्यान लगा लिए, बस हो गया? ऐसे थोड़ी। खोपड़ी में जाना चाहिए, उसका रिकॉर्डिंग होना चाहिए। इतना ही नहीं कि उसको फिर से बताना आना चाहिए, तभी वो ज्ञान हुआ। तो सिर्फ ये कि आपका पार होना ही सब कुछ नहीं। अब जो बड़े बड़े साधु संत हो गए, उन्होंने तो ये सब कुछ इतना जाना भी नहीं था बेचारों ने। अगर जानते होते तो वो भी आपके जैसे जागृति देते रहते। लेकिन अनेक जीवन जो उनके बीते, जिसमें उन्होंने जो कुछ भी सुकृत किया था, जिसके बूते पर वो इतने बड़े संत पद में पैदा हुए, वो सब पूर्व जन्म का पाया हुआ जो कुछ भी है, हजारों वर्षों का ज्ञान, वो उनके आगे स्पष्ट हो गया। लेकिन आपके लिए तो एक ही जन्म में सब कुछ हमने बता दिया। आपको कोई मेहनत भी करनी नहीं पड़ी, ना इतने जन्म जन्मांतर की सुकृत चाहिए, कुछ नहीं चाहिए। ये तो ऐसा ही हुआ कि एक पैसा बैंक में डाल के हजारों रुपए आप ले लीजिए। समझ लीजिए इस बात। उनका जो ज्ञान है वो अनेक जन्म की तपस्या से पाया हो। बड़े बड़े ऋषि मुनि साधु संत जो हैं वो पहले ज़माने में बड़े मनन करने वाले दृष्टा ऐसे होकर के सर्वसाधारण साधु के रूप में पैदा हुए थे, संतों के रूप में, कि सर्वजन समाज समुदाय से बातचीत कर सके। लेकिन हम तो सर्वसामान्य जन समुदाय हैं, सुकृत भी हमारा थोड़ा बहुत होगा ही। तो अब एक ही जन्म में अगर आप सब कुछ जान सकते हैं, सुकृत की भी ज़रूरत नहीं। लोग पूछते भी हैं, उनमें से एक बड़े भारी साधु मुझे कहने लगे कि माँ हमने तो हजारों वर्ष तपस्या करने पे सब पाया, आपने इनको 1 मिनट में क्यों दे दिया? तो हमने कहा भी देखो हमारी मर्जी है, मर्जी में आ गया हो गया, हम क्या करें, मर्जी की बात। तुम क्यों जलते हो? इस तरह की बात कि सोचना ये चाहिए कि एक ही जन्म में हमें सब कुछ मिला है, और मुझे अगर खुश करना है तो सिर्फ आपस में बिल्कुल बैर नहीं रखो। ये बैर या तो अहंकार से आता है या प्रति अहंकार जिसे हम मन कहते हैं उससे आता है। दोनों से परे आत्मा के सन्निध जा करके सबसे शांतिपूर्वक रहिए। ये संतों के राज में हम बैठे हुए हैं। संतों की इतनी मंडली कभी देखी नहीं थी। इस संतों के मंडली में जो होना चाहिए, जो विशेष आह्लाददायिनी शक्ति इनकी दिखनी चाहिए, प्रेममयी शक्ति दिखनी चाहिए, इनके मुख पर आनंद की ज्योत जलती दिखनी चाहिए। यही सबना चाहते हैं हम, जिसमें आपका भी भला हो और संसार का भी भला हो। यही एक माँ की इच्छा है कि मेरी सारी शक्तियाँ तुम लोग ले लो। जितना तुम में अंदर गहनता और जितनी तुम्हारे अंदर महानता उभरेगी, उतना सब कुछ आपके अंदर समाते जाएगा अपने आप सहज में। सो एक माँ की जो एक छोटी सी इच्छा है कि जो कुछ हमारा है सब आप प्राप्त करें। कुछ भी आपसे छिपा के नहीं रखा गया, कोई सा भी ज्ञान छिपा के नहीं रखा। धीरे धीरे सब बता दिया है और धीरे धीरे और बता देंगे। लेकिन आज कम से कम इतना तो आपको तय करना चाहिए कि माँ हम रोज़ ध्यान करके अपनी प्रगति करेंगे। रोज़ हम ध्यान करेंगे, इतना समय तो देना ही पड़ेगा। इतना अगर आप हमें आज वचन दे दें तो हम सोचें कि आपने हमें हजारों फूलों से भर दिया। हाँ, सो और कोई बात है?
Going forward, let us go to the next topic, which is what is the importance of meditation? Now, let us just think about this question in our minds, and for just a minute, let us just ask ourselves this question: why do we need to get into meditation? How is it going to help us? So, I would request everyone to just think, what are the first things that will come into the mind when we ask ourselves this question? Whatever comes into our mind when we think, what is the advantages of doing meditation? How does it help us? Let us think for a minute and write down these answers in a notebook. Please take 1 minute. When we have contemplated like this, we would have got a lot of answers like it will take us into nirvichar. We will be blessed by the divine during meditation. We feel the joy. It helps clear our nadis and chakras. It helps bring us back into balance. We can get the qualities of the deities. We become the Atma. So there are so many answers which will come as to why should we do meditation and how it helps us. Now all these answers are also correct. There's nothing wrong. However, in this wonderful lecture, again the same lecture that we heard before in that same year in Delhi on 16th February 1986, in that same advice that she gave, she also mentions very beautifully why should we do meditation. So one of the aspects, and it's an important aspect, which Shri Mataji explains here is that we become absolutely quiet and the Shanti is established within us. She gives a beautiful example, an analogy, that if there's an earthquake and everything is moving around, will a tree grow in such an atmosphere? Now this tree has to be in a very shant atmosphere to be able to grow. In the same way, our lives, which is like a daily earthquake from morning to night. So at least twice a day, we have to make ourselves quiet. Then the divine magic works. And when we get into that state of nirvicharita, that is when all the energy which comes in does all the beautiful things that we just described earlier. So before going ahead, let us understand that getting into the state of Shanti is one of the aims of meditation. So let us listen to this beautiful lecture from Shri Mataji and then we will proceed ahead.
अब सहयोग में कितनी बार बताया गया कि भाई अगर आपको आगे बढ़ना है, इस वृक्ष को ऊपर की ओर चढ़ाना है, तो आपको ध्यान करना चाहिए। अब इस पे लोग सोचते हैं कि माँ ध्यान से कैसे होता है। अब देखिए कैसे होता है। जब तक आप ध्यान नहीं करते हैं, मन चल बिचल थोड़ा सा रहता है। जब आप सहयोग के विधि के साथ ध्यान करते हैं तो आप निर्विचार में उतर जाते हैं। निर्विचारिता आपको शांति प्रदान करती है। अगर समझ लीजिए एक पेड़ आप लगाइए, वहाँ रोज भूकंप हो रहा हो, तो क्या वो पेड़ पनप पाएगा? जिस जगह शांति होगी वहीं न तो पेड़ बढ़ेगा। जहाँ अशांति है, जहाँ हर चीज हिल रही है, डावाडोल है, वहां क्या कोई पेड़ पनप सकता है? जिस हस्ती में शांति प्रस्थापित हो गई है, वहीं पे ये पेड़ बढ़ सकता है। इसलिए पहले निर्विचारिता में उतरना पड़ेगा। उसके लिए ध्यान के सिवाय और कोई सा मार्ग मुझे नजर नहीं आता। पहले ध्यान में स्थित होकर के अपनी निर्विचारिता हमें स्थित करनी चाहिए। कितने देर के लिए हम निर्विचार रह सकते हैं, ये सोचना चाहिए। जैसे अभी कोई सुंदर चित्र है, उसकी ओर आपने देखा और आप निर्विचार हो जाएं, तो सोचना चाहिए कि आपकी शक्ति बढ़ गई है। किसी भी चित्र के ओर देखने के बाद आप में अगर ऐसी भावना है कि ये चित्र अगर मुझे मिल जाए तो कैसा होगा, इसको कहाँ से खरीदना चाहिए, ये कितने का है, ये किसने बनाया, माने अगर विचारधाराएं शुरू हुई, तो ये समझ लेना चाहिए कि हमने इस चित्र से प्यार करना शुरू कर दिया है, अपने से नहीं। जब तक हम ये कहते रहेंगे कि ये मेरा है, माने वो मैं नहीं हूं, मुझसे अलग चीज है। तो जब अपने को हमें बढ़ाना है और इसकी पूरी वृद्धि करनी है, ग्रोथ करनी है, तो ज़रूरी है कि हम ध्यान में रहें और निर्विचारिता अपने अंदर स्थापित करें। जब तक निर्विचारिता स्थापित नहीं होती है, सहज योग बातचीत ही बातचीत रह जाएगी।
Jai Shri Mataji. There's another beautiful story which explains this very important aspect of being absolutely in silence and the reason behind it. There was an old man who had a very old watch which was made out of gold, and he was wearing it, and all his children, grandchildren came to his house, and they were all enjoying each other's company, and suddenly the old man lost his watch. So everybody was frantically searching for it because it was such an old antique and especially made out of gold. And they were searching and searching and they couldn't find it. A small grandson of his was a very small boy. He suddenly told everybody that please hold on. Let us just all sit quietly. Give me all your watches. He took their watches and threw them out. And then he told everybody, let us just sit quiet without making any sound. And then in that silence, they were able to listen to the watch and they found it. In the same way, if we can quieten our minds, then we can feel that all-pervading power within us. Because we are in such a frantic and we are afraid and we are thinking, there's so much of noise, we are not able to listen to that Atma within. So what is the steps of now getting into meditation? As such, there are no steps because it happens by the grace, and only the Paramatma and His grace and Shri Mataji will be able to take us into meditation. However, from our side, what should we do? What should be our attitude so that it helps us to get into meditation? And that is what we will try and understand now. So we are going to play 3 lectures of Shri Mataji now, where she talks about different aspects of meditation, of how to get into meditation. There are many, but we are just taking these 3 so that we understand overall a general attitude that we should have for meditation. The first step is that we have to first completely relax ourselves. So that is the first step, which is called as relax. God is with you. We have to just tell ourselves that we have no fear, because fear will cover the hunger of desire which is within us. So desire is like hunger, it is always there. It is natural, but it is covered with fear. So when we say, Shri Mataji, you are Sakshat Adi Shakti, and when you are in front of us, where is the fear? So let me relax. So our preparation for meditation starts not just before for meditation, but much before. Say if you have to get up in the morning, it may start in the previous night when we are sleeping. We have to be relaxed and not be afraid that, oh, tomorrow I have to get up and clear myself and all of this, and then we don't sleep in the night. So relaxation is the most important step, is one of the most important steps of meditation. Let us now listen to Shri Mataji's beautiful lecture, Relax, God is with you. This is 1982.
You have not entered into any competition here, just to relax. Just relax. Then the more you want to do about Sahaja Yoga, again you are tense. I have to meditate early in the morning, I have to get up tomorrow early in the morning. You see, you go on pestering yourself, whole night you won't sleep. And when you are meditating, you are losing. Relax. God is looking after you, believe. He is going to give you realization and He is going to look after you and He is going to wake you up in the morning too. But relax. The first idea that I can do it is wrong. He has to. It's not working out because you think you can do it. If you can come to this conclusion that I cannot do it, it is His mercy, His graciousness has to come. But after realization, you have to do something in the sense, you have to desire. But when I say you have to desire it, again you will say, all right, now I am going to sit down here and nail myself to this place and I am going to sit down and desire it. This desire is a dead desire. You see, just pushed onto your head that, oh, I must desire, mother has told I must desire. You have to be hungry. You don't say that I have to desire that I have to be hungry. The hunger is from within, which is there, no doubt, but is clouded. The hunger is clouded because you have fear. If you put a goat before a tiger and give him to eat, he will reduce with that eating whatever it is. Because it has that fear that there is a tiger which is going to eat you. So first kill all the imaginary tigers around you. Again we come back to the same. That desire must come from within. And it is there. What is clouded? Relax. It should not be that I am very relaxed. It's childlike. It's simple. A relaxed person is just like a child. So not to get frantic. Try to relax. That's all. For everyone. But relaxation never means that you are inactive. On the contrary, the person who is relaxed is extremely active on the exterior, but inside is absolutely silent. Absolutely relaxed and at ease. Outside you may feel, as you know now, at this time, tremendous vibrations are flowing. And I can see the flow, tremendous. And all the chakras are doing like this around me. But I see them and they are playing. At the most I may stop talking. But it is flowing. So whether it is for the seeking or For anything else in the world, the first thing is that you must take an attitude of a relaxed witness. If you can do that, then those who are not feeling vibrations will definitely feel. I've seen people on whom I've been working, it wouldn't work out. Of course, they were not rude or even arrogant, but felt very sad that they couldn't get the vibration. So I said, all right, today you go and enjoy the flowers in the garden, enjoy the birds, and talk to the sky and come back to them. It works out. Because you have been always like this. In Sahaja Yoga, you don't have to achieve anything. You become. First you become, and then mentally you understand Sahaja Yoga. But those who try to understand Sahaja Yoga mentally first are really in for trouble. Because when you read it, it sounds so great and you think, oh God, where am I? So, please, if you give realization to someone, take it easy. It will grow. Don't give advent to it. Next moment. We do it. Why? We think we should impress the person that Sahaja Yoga is a great thing and the person must read Advent, so he'll come to Sahaja Yoga and we'll establish this man because he will see and will be impressed. If somebody is going to be impressed by these things, such a person is of no use for Sahaja Yoga. Take it from me. If they are going to be impressed by something exterior and superficial, how far will they go? They have to achieve it within themselves, their own spirit. They have to be impressed by themselves, by their own achievements.
So our preparation for meditation starts before we even physically sit. And that's why it's said that we all should attend the center a little early, at least 15 minutes prior, so that we mentally prepare ourselves to get into that state of meditation. We listen to beautiful bhajans, and all of that just relaxes us. But most important is the attitude. God is with us, and hence we have to leave all the fears out. Let us just open our eyes and look at Mother's photograph, keeping both the hands on our lap, palms open, fingers little open, not touching each other, and look at photograph of Shri Mataji. This itself, this gesture, looking at her photo with that bhakti and shraddha, completely relaxes us. So let us just sit in this state for a minute or so. We'll just keep both the hands. Just see Are we able to feel vibrations in both the hands? What is our state? With this, we will move to the next step of how do we go into the next step of meditation.
So now we come to the second part of the meditative process. The first part, as we observed, was relaxation. That when we sit, we need to take time to just relax. Relax not just physically, but even mentally. Relax our thoughts, relax our mind. Just be relaxed. Take away our worries. And once that is achieved, we begin the second step, which is preparation. So, how do we do preparation? We sit in front of Shri Mataji and we express our desire to go into meditation. And how do we do that? That can be done in three ways. One is through prayers, second, by using mantras, and third, by using our hands to express our desire. So, after every prayer or mantra or action, it is very important that we give ourselves some time and we wait. We wait for the divine to answer our prayers. What do? We just wait for a minute or two after every prayer or mantra in complete silence and just sit and observe the changes that are happening within us. So let us just practice and see what we have just understood. So let us keep the left hand towards Shri Mataji, the right hand on the Mother Earth, and just pray to Shri Mataji, ki Shri Mataji, please clear our Ira Nadi. And after this prayer, let us sit for a minute or two in complete silence and observe what is happening inside us. So let us now keep the right hand towards Shri Mataji and the left hand towards the sky. And let us then pray to Shri Mataji, ki Shri Mataji, please clear our right channel. Please clear our Pingla Nadi. And after this prayer, again let us sit in silence for a minute or two and just observe the changes that are taking place within us. In the same manner, we can also keep our hands on the affected chakras or the chakras that we want to clear and just pray to Shri Mataji. So for example, let us keep the left hand on the right Swadhisthana chakra or the liver and just wait for a few minutes after praying that Shri Mataji, please clear this chakra. So now you have observed how after every prayer, when we wait for the divine's response, our own state changes. So let us now look at the final stage of this preparation. It is beautifully explained by Shri Mataji in her speech on Easter Puja in 1984. Here she talks about Vichar Shaitilya, which is relaxation of the mind. So once through our preparation we have become much calmer, much more peaceful, we have to overcome the final stage, which is going beyond our agya or going beyond our thoughts. And how do we do that? She says we do that through relaxing our thoughts. So we just go into a witness state and observe our thoughts. And every time these thoughts come up, we keep saying, not this, not this. Then keep watching. And again, when another thought comes up, we say, not this, not this. And slowly we will find that our thoughts will start subsiding and we will move into thoughtlessness. All we have to do is just observe our thoughts and negate them. So this was the second step of meditation, which is called preparation. So in this we saw that we have to express our desire. To express our desire, we have to do it through mantras or prayers or keeping our hands on various chakras. And after we become even more calmer or peaceful, we have to then go beyond our Agya Chakra, beyond our thoughts, by just observing them and negating them. Easter Puja in 1984.
The first and foremost thing is realization comes to you effortlessly. So the effort which is built in your body all the time, the energy of effort, I must do this, I must do that, I have to do this, I have to do that. That creates tension, that I have told you already. So, what do? We do not try to compete with others. We do not try to fix certain timing, dates, watches. We do not also put our attention into any endeavor which puts us into effort, but we relax that attitude of effort. It's called as, in Sanskrit, Prayatna Shaitilya. For a Western mind, it's very difficult to grasp the subject. So try to understand. That doesn't mean lethargy. One should never confuse with the dead the energy of the living. Now we are trying to transform our energies towards the energy of the spirit. So you have to allow the spirit to take over. Your effort of your mind should be reduced and the energy of the spirit should work through you. Now how do you do it? First is detachment. Detachment start with the thought. Let us see the thought. It's called as Vichara Shaitilya, relaxation of the thought. Now a thought is coming into your mind. Some thought, today is Mother's Puja, let's go. We have to hurry up, you see, you must get this, you didn't get the flowers, now you go to the third world and get the flowers, you must get this and you must get that. Second is, no, detach yourself. Witness. Leave it to the spirit. Watch. You will get it. Many of you have noticed this. But still this mind, which is quite silly, tries to impress upon you that you have to use the old junky instrument of this mind. And it asserts that better use. And when you start using that, ego comes in, you get attached to it. And what you lose is your progress, and thus the joy is minimized. How do you detach yourself? For a person who is absolutely detached, it's very difficult to explain how to detach, isn't it? I'll try. Now, I cannot get attached, that's the problem is. And I find it difficult to explain to you in words which are human words. But still I'll try to say now. Say I tried something as human beings do in the beginning, just to see how it works out, because I had to experiment. For example, when I had to, say, attend any puja or anything, I used to ask them, what is the auspicious time? So they would tell me, this is the auspicious time. And then another would telephone to say, this is the auspicious time. So I said, how can there be two auspicious times? It's a big problem with human beings. So they said there are 5 panchangas in India. Means 5 books to consult the auspicious time. That's what human beings have done. I said, then why consult? It's better not to have 5 auspicious times. Then the auspicious time is not beyond, has to be beyond time. But it is bound in the time, the way human beings have made it. So it is bound in the time, like in India it is so much, so much, so much. But now here it's different. Then you calculate, you have a watch. You see, to overcome all these hurdles, human beings also make certain devices. So you consult. Now what is the auspicious time here? Leave at that time. Then it's a big headache, because there are 5 books to be consulted. Watch could be wrong, this could be wrong, that could be so. But if you are the spirit, then the spirit works out auspiciousness. It is the spirit that works out the auspiciousness. And imagine when you think like that, how much tension goes out. First of all, you have to be a slave of the watch. Another, you have to be the slave of the books. Then you have to be the slave of the market, of the room, of the place which you have to hire. But supposing if you allow the spirit to work it out, then everything will work out and you will reach at this point where it is the most auspicious. So how do you accept it? Just by accepting. So just now if you give up your satta, your own domain, you get into the domain of your spirit. You give up your domain, that is your ego's domain, or maybe your superego's domain. You give up that and try to see things how it works out. Now what is the testing point of it? How do you test it? It works out. That's the point of testing. It works out. Allow it to work out. Don't put your attention. Attention has the second part of it, the tension. And don't try to say, why not today? It should have happened today. We expected it to happen. Why not at this moment? That's your ego. Die will be done. So the thought that starts moving in our mind all the time, which creates tensions, is not the thought of the spirit. So, what you should say? Not this thought. Not this thought. Yanneti neti vachanai nigamo avochus. Not this thought, not this thought, not this thought. And see how you relax. Now you are relaxing. Not this thought, not this thought. Just go on refusing, accepting any thought. So you go into nirvichara. In that state, you feel the spirit. Christ has done the greatest work on this, I should say, but we do not understand because his life was like a micro thing. See, in 3 years. So we have to open it out a little bit and see what he did. He has given us the greatest weapon of forgiveness. When you forgive a person, what do? You accept the situation to begin with. And secondly, you forgive what you think has been done wrong to you. But because nothing can be done wrong to your spirit, you just forgive because you are the spirit. And when you forgive, you have found that your tension goes away. So even to your thoughts, if you say, all right, forgive this thought, because thought is also not to be punished. Forgive this thought, forgive everything. Not forget, forgive. Because then you will even forget that you are the spirit. But forgive all the thoughts that are coming to me. Just go on saying this is a mantra. What is a mantra? Is that power of the word that expresses spirit. So this is a very important thing Christ has given us, the weapon of forgiveness. Everybody has that weapon. Everyone can use that weapon. You don't have to put in any effort for it. You don't have to pay for it. It's just you have to say, I forgive. You will be amazed, your nerves will soothe down. This tension, this pressure of these modern things will be reduced if you go on saying, I forgive them. For example, you go and see some sort of if you happen suddenly to see something very filthy according to the spirit. Maybe it is very exciting according to normal human beings, but we are abnormal people. And for us, if we find it rather ugly, then the best thing is to get over is to say, I forgive. Because they are ignorant. They are blind. They are not yet there where I am. I am the one who is at the source of enjoyment, at the source of peace, and while these are not, so I forgive. And you'll be amazed that this forgiveness that Christ gives works out. Vichara Shaithilya is the relaxation of the thought. Now this opposite movement that you have to move, first of all, should start at this point today from forgiving others. Now what happens when you forgive someone? That means you do not react. The power to react to somebody's injuries, insults is finished. And when that power is finished, you become a powerful person. Because nobody can now overpower you. Because nobody can kill you. Nobody can hurt you. Nobody can do anything to you. But it is not, again I'll say, shamelessness. See, people can think that it is shamelessness. So, if somebody says to you something harsh and something that is wrong, you do not accept it. But supposing I shout at someone, the bhoots run away. You have seen that many a times. I have to shout at people, so bhoots run away because they react and they just run. But the spirit shines through. So in Sahaja Yoga one has to understand that it is just the central path, is just the balancing thing which is important, is not an extreme of anything. Like when we go to say that you must forgive everyone, is not going to that extreme where you have done some wrong and somebody says to you, you don't take that part of it. It doesn't mean that. Again, discretion is the engine of your movement. So you have to see that if they have said it, something like that, is it, have I gone against the spirit? Otherwise, if I say to you something, you will say, all right, forgive mother. You see the point? Forgive her for saying so. No. You cannot say that to me. So then, that is the point you start thinking. Why mother said so? What have I done? Now think on those lines. So you start moving again. It's a very thin road on which you have to walk. One side is the huge big Gibraltar, rock of Gibraltar of your ego. The another side is a super ego. In between is a small discretion path going, on which you have to see both the sides. Whether you are hitting yourself with the rock of Gibraltar or falling into the valley of superego, you should see that you are using your discretion.
Let's try to understand the importance of the photograph of Shrimataji. Before this incarnation in the form of Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti, there were no photographs. So why is it so important? If we put all the powers of all the statues and the Swayambhus together existing on this earth now, the photograph of Shrimataji is even more powerful than that. Why? Because it is the reality. Swayambhus can give us vibrations. We all would have experienced that. But Swayambhu cannot give us realization. They cannot do the work of Sahaja Yoga. When the photograph is developed or created, then all the 5 elements do their job. By the element of ether, we can even transmit the photograph across the world and it does its job. This photograph is not just a representation of Shrimataji, but her divine attention is also working through it. Mother is with us when we keep the photograph with us. This develops faith. We have done our job of doing the prayers, of doing balancing. Now Shrimataji says we have to expose ourselves to the blessings, to the Param Chaitanya. We don't need to do any effort now. At this stage, no effort is required. So we always think, okay, let me do a prayer, let me ask or take a mantra. Shrimataji says, just the posture of opening our hands in front of her photograph is like a mantra. We just have to sit effortless. And when we do an effort, we are actually hindering on the way of the work of the Param Chaitanya. Like when the sun rises, the whole nature exposes itself, opens itself to be nourished by the rays of the sun. Similarly, we just sit in silence. We just expose ourselves with no prayers, no music. Just expose ourselves to the Param Chaitanya. So let's all experience this now. We will listen to the speech of Mataji about effortless meditation, and after that we will sit in complete silence for 10 minutes and experience the work of the Param Chaitanya happening within us. Jai Shri Mataji.
Alive. In the same way, the vibrations are coming, they are radiated. What you have to do is to expose yourself to it. The best is not to put in any effort. Don't worry at what point you have a problem. Say many people during meditation and seeing if they catch a breath, they go on looking after it. You just don't have to worry. You just let it go. And it will work by itself. It's going easy. So, you don't have to put in any effort. This is what meditation means. Meditation means exposing yourself to God's grace. Now the grace itself knows how to cure you. It knows how to mend you, how to settle down itself into your own being, keep your spirit kindled. It knows everything. So you don't have to worry as to what you have to do, or what name you have to take, what mantras you have to do. In meditation, you have to be absolutely effortless. Expose yourself fully. And you have to be absolutely thoughtless at that time. Suppose you know, it's a possibility, you may not be thoughtless. At that time, you have to just watch your thoughts, but don't get involved into them. You will find gradually, as the sun rises, the darkness goes away, and the sun's rays go into every crevice and every part, and makes the whole place lighted. In the same way, your being will be completely lighted. But if you put in an effort that time, or try to stop something within you, or try to give it a burden, it will not. Effortlessness is the only way to meditation. But you should not be lethargic about it. You should be alert and watching. The other side could be people just doze off. No. You have to be alert. If you doze off, nothing will work. That's another side of it. If you are lazy about it, nothing will work. You have to be alert and open, absolutely aware, completely effortless, absolutely effortless. If you are absolutely effortless, meditation will work the best. Don't think of your problems at all, whatever chakras you have, anything. Just expose yourself. See when the sun shines, all the nature exposes itself to the sun and receives the blessings of the sun effortlessly. It doesn't put in any effort. It just receives itself. When it receives the sun's rays, then the sun's rays start acting and activating. In the same way, the all-pervading power starts working. You are not to maneuver it. You are not to do anything about it. Just be effortless. Absolutely effortless. Don't take any names. Do not bother if your raga is catching, this is catching, that is catching. It is working out. It will go on working as long as it can. And it will
do the miracle that it has to do. You don't have to worry about it. It knows its job. But when you put in an effort, actually you create a barrier for it. So no effort is needed. Be absolutely effortless and say, let it go, that's all. No mantras to be chanted. In case you find it's impossible, then you can take my name. But there is no need even. When you put your hand towards me, that's the mantra. Sufficient. This gesture itself is the mantra. You see, there is no need to say it more, but the thought, the mind, the emotion should be that we have now spread our hands to that. And it should work. When this emotion is absolutely complete, there is no need to say any mantra. You go beyond it. So one has to be absolutely effortless. Absolutely effortless. That is what it is. Meditation is for your own ascent. It's for your own capital gains that you have to have. But once you get into it, you also achieve your powers. Like you become a governor and you get the powers of the governor. At this time you don't have to think about anybody else. You are not to put your attention to anybody else, but just receive it. Just receive it. Do not think of any other problem, but that you have to be effortless. Absolutely effortless. It would work best on the people who are just receiving it. You have problems, that's why you are here. But you cannot solve them. They have to be solved by divine power. This must be understood fully, that we cannot solve our problems. It is beyond us to solve our problems. So, leave it in the hands of the divine power and expose yourself effortlessly, absolutely effortlessly. Sit in comfort and properly with both the feet on the ground, with both the hands. Relax like this. Be comfortable. You should not be uncomfortable at all. You should be very comfortable because you have to sit for quite some time. And you try to put your attention on me within yourself, if you can, to my Kundalini, if you can. You can come into my Kundalini, this thing be done. Just like this, the hand should be like this straight. So effortlessness is the key word. Absolutely effortlessly. Whether you are meditating before me or before my photograph.
So now, let us get into that most important step of meditation. And that is just expose ourselves effortlessly. We should do that every day, morning and evening, for at least 10 minutes. So now, let us all sit a bit straight. The back has to be straight. Let us slightly bend down our heads and bow down in humility. Let us open our hands, open our fingers. Let the fingers not touch each other. But it should be very light without any tension. Let us rest it on our laps. However, we need to be alert, satark, so that we either don't sleep or we don't need to get up very fast. So the key word, as Shri Mataji said, is effortlessness and expose. And finally, sustain, sustain, and sustain this state. Be in this state for at least 10 minutes of complete silence. No mantras, no prayers, no speech, just Shant. So come, let us all pray to Shri Mataji's lotus feet. That Shri Mataji please bless us all with this experience of this beautiful state. And Mother, we surrender to you. You please take us. And we are just waiting for your blessing. Jai Shri.
May God bless you. May God bless you all. May God bless you all. May God bless you all. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Jai Shri Mataji. So, to summarize today's learning, what we have learned today from Shri Mataji is that we need to understand, not only understand, we have to study Sahaj Yoga and do its abhyas. Secondly, we learned about meditation and we learned about three aspects of meditation today, among the many aspects of meditation. The first one is that we need to relax completely before even we sit in meditation. And also during the complete meditation, we should always be completely relaxed. Fear should be thrown out. Let us always remember what she has promised us, that God is with us, and in our hearts, let us believe it and have full faith on it. Secondly, we have to prepare ourselves by doing clearances. But in that also, the most important step after every prayer, after a mantra, after an action, is to wait for the blessing. At least after every prayer, just let us wait and then see how is the response. All the prayers should be from our heart and it should be different every day. The clearance part should be different every day so that we don't make it a ritual. And finally, and most importantly, for 10 minutes, we all have to just sustain and sit in that silence, exposing ourselves and being completely effortless. If you are disturbed by any thoughts, the mantra is Neti, Neti, not this, not this. Let us be alert and be in the present and practice it every day and sustain it every day. In the next session, we will understand from Shri Mataji about three main aspects which don't allow us to progress in Sahaja Yoga. There are many aspects, but we will only touch upon and understand at least three aspects in the next session. Jai Shri Mataji.